Is the block party. I'm Jason. That's Tristan. And if you notice, Chad and Amy aren't here this week, so we have a weird format if you're watching this live on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube on any of our accounts or allerton.com. I think we should just start this thing off the weirdest way possible, and that was with this homemade video that Chad sent us, since he's hosted this thing for like 100 episodes now.
Always skeptical of a homemade video from Chad, but
he's
we'll
like,
go with it.
Here, we talked about it last week. I told him to make a video, and I didn't think he would do it, and he's like, here's a video. And I was like, well, should I watch it before so I kind of know what's coming? He's like, nah, you can just play it at some point. So I figure like that some point should be now. And then I guess maybe we'll just review Chad's video when we're done or something. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to play it. You guys can hear it. It's going to be weird, I'm sure. It's going to be amazing. It's Chad. So here's Chad. And if I talk over him, like, so be it.
And what's up, guys? It's Chad. Thanks for joining us for the block party. And thank you, Jason. Bodacious Jason. Big Papa Tree. WWE 2k17 is coming out soon. Big Papa Tree's back in the house. Thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of the show, even though I'm not in the studio tonight. I'm out at a Die Antwoord concert, too, checking it out. One of Amy's top favorite bands. So we're out there. But I want to talk about something that me and Jason were romping through this weekend. If he hasn't already touched on it, I'm sure he has, dude. It's, the biggest game, one of the biggest games of the year. Gears of War 4 came out for us on Friday. We dove right into it Friday night. Checked out the campaign, checked out Horde mode. Jason's working on a review. Bodacious Jay should have that up, dude. I just slapped him with the pressure right there. I slapped him in the pressure cooker. And so he's going to have a review up on allerton.com, so make sure you guys tune in and check that out. Horde mode is absolutely amazing and fun, too. We just got to get 5 people because we made it around like 20 and then got our asses destroyed by the boss, which takes like, he's a fucking sponge of bullets. But that's kind of how it goes, dude. Executions are awesome. Story mode is good. It's got a few flaws in it. But with that being said, the graphics are amazing in some scenes. 2-player kind of slacks a little bit on some of the graphics and the textures, but that's all right though, because with 2 players on the same screen, you guys checked it out on the stream this weekend. It was absolutely awesome and so much fun. But I want to talk about something else that was announced.
No, Chad, we're not. We're going to talk about Gears of War right now. He said he wants to talk about something else. We're going to pause Chad. We'll come back to Chad in a minute because he's got more to say, but now's not the time. Because Chad and I did play some Gears of War. You haven't played Gears of War yet, have you, Tristan?
Not yet, no.
It's actually really amazing. Like, it's a new team. The Coalition has taken it over. And it feels like Gears of War. I played probably through Act 4 of the story mode right now, hoping to finish it up in the next day or so and get a review up on the site by the weekend. But it is 100% Gears of War, and they do everything you really want a Gears of War game to do. They have, the animation looks the same, the character models look the same. It's like this weird thing where you like look at Gears of War on your TV and you're like looking at this Gears of War 4, this new beautiful Gears of War, and you're like, man, I don't know, it kind of looks like Gears of War. Like, it looks like, that's how I remember Gears
of War. Where does
look.
it rank in like the franchise of Gears of War, even with this new team? I wouldn't say, I'm guessing it's not better than the first one, right?
Well, I'm not all the way through yet, so I mean, the first one was so amazing.
But just like overall feel, like
the way the story kind of plays out and the way the story kind of moves right now, I love the progression of the story and the way they're introducing these new characters. And I think the first half hour of this game is like up there with some of the best stuff the series has ever done. And I'm not going to spoil that first half hour because I think it's worth exploring and it's worth you kind of experiencing that yourself. But it's really fucking neat. And then once that passes, you're introduced into like this different kind of Gears of War experience. That another thing where it's a future Gears of War, and it's in the future, right? It's like 20 years past Emergence Day,
right,
past finishing the other games, and it just does it really well. It's like you're playing this movie. It's like a really good Gears game. It might be, maybe when I'm done, maybe in the top 2 Gears, maybe 2.
Wow.
Maybe it could be the best. I don't know. Like the way.
Were you big fans of the second and third one?
I really liked the second one.
Like
I actually really liked the way they wrapped the whole series up with the third one. I thought that trilogy ended really well. We talked about it last week. I never played that offshoot game, but I'll play that now that I have the code for the Xbox One. But yeah,
all this hype has me excited to potentially try this game out.
Dude, if you like Gears of War, you like Gears of War story, this has everything in it. It has like a lot of the lore. You're going to meet characters that you've seen in the past come up and they're referenced over and over again. The only thing I really, really dislike about this so far, the story mode, is the voicing of the main character, who is Nolan North.
Right.
And come on. Like, Nolan North can't do any other voice except for Nolan North at this point, and it just kind of gets old.
He does so many games. It's crazy.
He does.
Like, he's overused. He's overused.
He's overexposed at this point. And
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're doing a high-profile game, why would you have this main character be a name that you've known that's so well known by everybody? Maybe it isn't even Nolan North. Maybe this is another character's name. I guess it is a Nolan North. But I've been bitching about it being Nolan North. I wonder who does this character's name. Or the voice of this character.
Well, I know one of the guys from The Flash that was the Liam McIntyre guy from The Flash. He is in Gears of War 4. He plays JD Phoenix. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes. He sounds exactly like Gears. He sounds exactly like Nolan North. I was actually ragging on this to Chad, being like, dude, I just did this little fucking angry thing. Like,
yeah, I remember when that first trailer came out and they introduced him. I was like, oh yeah, he played Weather Wizard on The Flash.
Oh yeah, well he's doing a very good Nolan North impersonation in this game, because I thought it was him, and I was like, man, it sounds so much like Nathan Drake. It's driving me nuts. Well, good for them then. Well, they should have noticed that though when they're recording the voices. But I don't know. They do some cool stuff with physics in this game that they hadn't done before. That's really mind blowing. But the most of my time this weekend was actually spent with Horde mode with Chad. Chad and I played some Horde mode, and I don't know if you got to watch any of that, but it was.
I've heard big things about this Horde mode. Is it come as advertised? Is just a ton of fun?
Yeah, I mean, Chad and I got to level. I think we were on level 20, or 19. I don't know if we ever. I don't give it 20. He said 20 in his little video he did, but
right.
it scales. It gets hard, right? It starts easy and it gets hard, and you're unlocking new turrets and you're finding little angles to cheat. I don't know. Did you ever play Horde mode before?
I believe I did, but it's been so long since I even played a Gears game. I still have that Ultimate Collection. I still have yet to play.
Oh, the Gears of War regular Ultimate?
They came out for
Edition?
Xbox One.
Yeah. That's a good.
I still need.
You should check that out. That actually is really
if I pop
cool.
that in, that'll get me really excited for Gears of War 4, and then I'll probably pick up Gears of War 4.
Oh my god, when I popped that in, I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm doing the Ultimate Edition, dude. I'm buying the statue for my bedroom. Like, I went all in on Gears of War at that point. But the Horde mode actually was really fun with Chad. I wish we had more people, because it just feels like I was playing a sniper for a long time, and that class was not at all lending itself to having two people. When I switched back over to the heavy, it felt like the game was like more like we had a better chance to win. I don't know. Just the way it unlocks and progresses in the boss battles, it feels super epic and fun. So I'm going to play a ton more of that. I'm sure Chad and I'll stream some more Horde mode. If you pick it up, you should be our third wheel. But now we can go through the campaign. You can eat some pizzas. We'll be on the Twitch food channel. It'll be a beautiful thing.
That was a great time playing campaign mode with you in that first game. And I remember it was like right around the holidays. I got that game as a Christmas present, I remember. And it felt like maybe it was like after Christmas, or it had to be after Christmas when we played, sometime in January maybe. But yeah, that was a good Friday night spent playing Gears of War with you.
Dude, I had so much fun like playing through the different Gears of War campaigns. Easily one of my favorite series of all time, and I was super excited that this one actually lived up to the hype. So yeah, stay tuned to allertonapp.com. Chad and Amy actually were playing through the campaign on Twitch last weekend. I'm sure they're going to finish it up for you guys, and then Chad and I will probably jump into more Horde mode this weekend. Maybe we'll get Tristan on board, and then we'll have a review of the campaign, and then I think a totally separate review of the Horde mode, because there's so much to see in that mode. There's tons of cool unlocks, different costumes, and they have the great money-making scheme of buying packs to unlock different outfits and shit like that. So I don't know. We'll play some more. Should we see what else Chad has to say here? I feel like I need to know what else this guy wants us to talk about. I'm letting Chad host the show remote. This is the weirdest show we're ever going to do. It's a very artsy show we're pulling off here. All right, Chad. What else do you have to say, Chad?
Back in 2007, it was announced, and back in 2009, it was talked about and then dropped, and here we are in 2016. Gears of War is officially going to be getting a movie by Universal Studios. That being said, 2017 is going to roll around and that motherfucker is going to be canceled. But it's in its early stages, it's in its infancy, but if anything is ready to be a movie right now that's a video game that I could put my finger on and say that would be pretty fucking awesome and that could easily be done, I'm going to say Gears of War. What they're talking about is taking it outside of the realm that it's in, the cast of characters that you're used to, the Dominics, the JDs, all those dudes. Outside of those guys, what's going on in that world, the fight that's going on with the other guys, there's so much story to be told outside of these heroes that I think that this world could be pretty badass. Starship Troopers, Bodacious J, you know what I'm talking about, dude. If they do something along the lines of that, which we were kind of like when we saw Starship Troopers, we're like, holy crap, this is like Gears of War, this is like, crazy aliens attacking, all sorts of stuff, dude. So Gears of War, Universal Studios got it. They're working on it. Nothing is set in stone, but dude, man, that's pretty awesome. We also had some NX.
Whoa, Chad. No, we don't have to get into the NX news just yet, but the Gears of War 4 movie, are you excited about a potential Gears of War movie?
When it comes to video games and movies, they just don't mix very well, so no, I'm not excited for it. There has to be something that comes out that is like a game changer, and it's not going to be Assassin's Creed in December. We know that for sure.
I don't know. It actually looks pretty cool. Everything, like the last trailer I saw, I was totally like turning the corner on that. I didn't like it at first, but I'm starting to feel where that movie's going.
I mean, I guess to each their own. I guess. I mean, there's some movies out there that are based off video games that people might like, but it's. Growing up, Mortal Kombat was a movie that was like, oh yeah, this movie's awesome, but watch that movie nowadays and
Mortal Kombat is a goddamn, that's a national treasure. That's one of the greatest movies ever created.
The second one was really bad.
The second one was amazing, dude. It was like, it took everything that was terrible and just like notched it up. We might need to watch that on a stream. Can we watch that on a stream? We should do that.
I mean, good. Say what you will about the Resident Evil movies, some are somewhat entertaining, I guess.
I hate those movies so much.
Yeah. They made like 7 of them. It's crazy.
Dude, there's a new one coming. I just saw a trailer for the new one we had on the site, I think. They stray so far from the game that it annoys me. And then they kind of like try to tie things in. It just seems like this weird byproduct of like Hollywood, what someone in Hollywood thought a video game movie should be.
Yeah.
Which is why Assassin's Creed kind of looks like okay to me, because it feels like they sort of get it. What the game would tie into a movie without ruining it.
I feel like what has to happen is Nintendo has to give up, let someone make a Mario movie, and let that be like the precedent. Like, oh, okay, we made an awesome live-action video game movie, and it's Mario, like one of the biggest video game properties ever. So if they can make that work, they can figure like Marvel making Iron Man way back when, and making the expanded universe and all these kind of stuff. They have to do something that works, like mainstream, like receptively, like everyone loves it, and it's a hit with everyone. It's box office hit, all that stuff. But yeah, I want to see them. I want to see them do it first of all. But
I like the idea of a Starship Troopers style version of Gears of War. That kind of like kind of like that cheesy, like the Gears, like with the little. I feel like if you have a little campiness in a Gears of War movie, it might work. Because Gears of War is over. I
mean, Starship Troopers was a very special product that they put out there. The first movie worked, and then they made a sequel, and then made these different series. Starship Troopers.
That weird Starship Troopers shit. They don't work as well.
It was like the Sci-Fi Channel made them, I think.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Casper Van Dien.
But I'm a big fan of the very first Starship Troopers. But they also had, and that was before Casper Van Dien was washed up as an actor. But yeah.
Yeah, if they're gonna make a video game movie, I think Gears is like the easiest one to make. Like. You can do pretty much whatever you want.
I would think so. I mean, the story is very simple.
Yeah. Big bad guys come and kill things, right?
Have a gun with a chainsaw. How cool is that going to be?
That's going to be awesome. That's going to be totally awesome.
They have to have the right people behind it. Did they announce? Oh, they announced a couple people who are producing. Who's going to write this thing?
I think
they announced that.
Well, Scott Stuber from the TED series and Central Television and Dylan Clark from Planet of the Apes are set to produce. That's it.
Okay.
That's all Chad put in the notes for me, so I don't know if there's more. But I mean, I don't know. Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite series going right now, so I trust those guys. But who knows? There's like 100 producers on a movie. Like most of them don't do anything. These guys could have just been like the 19th producer, right? And they got a credit and they're in, and now they're making this and throwing their name on there. So who the hell?
I mean, what if they bring like Zack Snyder on to direct,
I'm out.
and then this movie just becomes entirely something different?
I'm out.
But
Stop it. You hate Zack Snyder so much. You hate him so much.
that's why I teased it.
Oh my God, Chad, do you have anything else you want to tell us about?
So we also had some NX Nintendo. Dude, if I can jump ship real quick, because I know you guys are going to shut me off, or you're not even playing this, and I'm just talking to myself. But Nintendo NX stuff. I don't even know if this is if Jason and Bodacious J and Big Papa Tree are even going to talk about this. But NX stuff is leaking like a faucet right now, and there's talks about a $299 package coming out, a $399 package bundled with games. There's all sorts of stuff leaking right now. We'll have some coverage this weekend on allertonav.com, so make sure you guys check it out. But expect to see this demo units in stores by January, middle of January. Expect an announcement in the next couple of weeks. And if there is, we'll be on top of it, dude. Take your games to go. But anyways, I got to get out of here, too. We got a show to go catch. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the block party. I'm your usual host, Chad. Bodacious J's got it tonight. Big Papa Tree, thank you, man, for letting me take some time out of your show. And hope you guys don't kill me. But guess what? You can belittle me all you want when I'm not there. But when I'm back next week after listening to the show, I'm going to come get you.
I let him finish. I let him tell him he's gonna come get me, and that's all he gets to do. But the NX, what a weird thing. Like, why would Chad send this video and then not tell me what's in it, and then have multiple stories within this video that I'm supposed to like play at once, and then we're supposed to talk about everything? That's insanity, man. That's fucking Chad, dude. Chad can't leave the show without being the star of the goddamn show. So well played, Chad.
Post by proxy.
So the NX, he's talking about they're coming to probably having demos in stores in December already. I don't feel like that's gonna happen, right? Like we're 2 months away, but who knows at this point? Maybe next December. I don't know. The NX.
And wouldn't they have like a huge event to really showcase this system? Because it's still kind of a mystery, right?
No one knows what this is at this point.
Yeah, and why would they just have demos in stores before they like really announce like what is the meat in this console or whatever they want to call it?
I don't know. Like, I mean, like saying that the system's gonna launch on the 31st of December, like that is just insanity to me. Like, although it's insanity, but it's also maybe like a really smart marketing move, right? Like you just say, here, this thing is coming. People are like, what? And then they're like, oh, you can buy it in 2 weeks, kind of like Apple does. People don't have a chance to like digest what you're throwing out there at them, and they're just like, oh shit, I need that. So that could work. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they just have a demo, it's not going to be communicated to everyone like, oh yeah, this is going on. Like people will know, but like mainstream people aren't going to know about it unless something is very like particular about this, like that just takes off. Like when they first introduced the Wii and like, oh, you can control stuff with your hands through the remote. It's crazy, yeah. Like they have to. The system has to be very game changing.
I mean, if someone tells me that I can plug my if this is what we think it is, and it's a little system that I can take on the go and play in my living room via either like a Chromecast like situation or whatever it is, I think that's a good gimmick. That's a gimmick enough to get like parents excited, but you're missing Christmas. Like, why would you come out right after the holiday Christmas rush?
Bad time.
That seems like a terrible time. Like everybody is broke at that time in America.
I mean, the systems always come out in this last quarter of the year, like right before Christmas. This is when you release consoles, and
early November, yeah.
Yeah, a few months before Christmas sometimes. So then the hype can keep building and build and build. So when Christmas comes, kids demand like, hey, I want this for Christmas, and then parents have to buy it for them.
Yeah, because some people are already committing to buying their children PlayStations or Xboxes. Like they're not going to be. You're not going to take it back a week later.
Come January, February, you're not. Kids aren't going to be able to get
like that, I know myself. Like if my parents were like, you can have an Xbox One on Christmas Day, or you can wait a week and have a Wii, whatever the Nintendo NX is. I'd be like, I'm not waiting, dude. I'm off for Christmas vacation, dude. I want my system. I want to play my new system and my new
exactly.
games.
All your friends have it. Yeah, you're gonna want that.
Yeah, I want the thing that I can have now. We're a very have now society, so it's maybe they have demo discs out or demo units out in December to like try to like convince some people not to buy the system and wait but I don't think they'd release this thing until early next year, until like quarter one, like April, maybe
Right.
May, somewhere like that. That seems like a smarter move. But what the hell do I know? So yeah, now we got that out of the way. Did you play any other games, Tristan?
Well, I played Overwatch with you guys, the Halloween spectacular that we did.
Was
And
this
then
your...
I've been that was my first time with Overwatch in a few weeks also. But yeah, as
first time since we played it together, right? Like when we convinced you to
Right.
buy it that one weekend?
Yep.
And what'd you think? Were you still a fan?
Yeah, it's a good time. It would have been a little more convenient with how we played if we're all mic'd up and everything, but it didn't work out that way. But yeah, it was a good time.
Because this is also your first experience with an event, so like a Blizzard event. Because you're not you don't play World of Warcraft and you don't play Diablo
Right.
or any of the Hearthstone or any of these other Blizzard games. And Blizzard, if anybody doesn't know, the Halloween Terror event dropped yesterday, and has a bunch of new skins. I think 14 new skins for all the characters. They're awesome. You can earn them by getting loot boxes by leveling up, or you can purchase loot boxes for a set amount of cash. And then they also, in typical fashion so far for Overwatch, they added a whole new game mode, which was fucking cool. It was like a wave-based mode where you're fighting bosses and Junkenstein and Monster and all these different characters, which I thought was really cool. And how did you feel like me that like they went all in on that and they really put together a pretty cool mode?
It was a cool mode. I mean, after we played it so many times, it felt a little repetitive because we played like I don't know how many times in a row, but a good amount of times in a row.
I did a good 10 times in a row, and she had it on normal mode, and we were really I don't think we were good enough for normal mode.
It was tough at the end there every single time, and then we eventually won, so that was good that we accomplished that. But
yeah, it was pretty challenging. I'll give you that because they only get a limited set of characters. You can only choose 4 characters.
Yeah, they only give you 4 characters, which is interesting because my go-to guys weren't included in there, so I had to use someone I don't normally use, and I used Hanzo, the arrow guy, who I learned I got pretty good with. So
yeah, I thought you did a pretty good job.
This guy that I'll probably use in the future.
Yeah, and they made me actually use a character where I had to do work. I'm used to playing as Tojaborn, where I just set a turret up and let the turret do all the kills by targeting enemies and sit back. And now I had to play with McCree.
Right.
But I will say that I found a perfect gimmick to get player of the game every
I
single
saw
time.
what you were doing. Yeah, I saw what you were doing.
It was a beautiful thing, right? I had player of the game like 10 games in a row. There should have been a
use your special when there's like 30 guys out there, and
you can just pop up in the corner of the map and get a full view of the map, dude, and get like 10, 12 guys at a crack with a high noon. It was a beautiful thing. So that was pretty cool, and I actually unlocked Dr. Junkenstein's skin, which was pretty rad. Did you get any good skins?
I only got like spray paint stuff and voices. I got a cool voice for Reinhardt, so that was kind of cool. But maybe I'll play a little more before, all this month, right? So yeah,
I think it's through early November, yeah. And I really need the Reaper skin with the pumpkin head. I think that's awesome. I'd
like a Reinhardt skin.
Yes.
With a skull, I think it has. That'd be cool to have.
And for me,
I love Reinhardt.
The cool thing they did this time that they didn't do last time is you can actually purchase these skins with the coins that you collect in game, which sucked last time. There wasn't that many. I mean, these skins are so much better than last time. It doesn't matter. But the Reinhardt one's like $750, so I can totally buy that and not feel bad about it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Overwatch home run on that one, I think.
It's a good time.
We'll stream some more of that. Did you play anything else?
I've been playing Pokemon Go. If anyone else is out there still playing, I mean, they're still making $2 million a day, so I know someone's playing it besides me.
They're still making $2 million a day, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
And they just had a new update come out today. Well, it may have come out yesterday, but I get updates like a little later on. But it updated today, and they did a few tweaks to the gameplay for gyms. Normally, if you're training at a gym, you can only send one of your Pokemon into the gym and train them. Instead, you can take 6, like it is when you're battling a gym, which is a little bit more fun instead of just one guy and they die probably. And and then they just did a few cosmetic upgrades, like with your eggs. The menu for that looks a little bit different. just different graphics here and there. But overall, nice update. I like the new tweak on gyms that they did there.
Holy crap! I feel like I should open it up again. I haven't done it in so long.
But yeah, I got hooked back on playing it, and now I'm just like addicted. Where I need to evolve all my Pokemon and catch all the ones and everything, and maybe level up all the way to 40 and max out and technically beat the game in some ways. But yeah, it's
Would you say this is your favorite game you played this year? Because I feel like you spent a lot of time with this thing.
I mean, it's up there for me. Yeah. I don't think it's by no means like the best game of the year overall, but it's got me addicted to it in some ways.
I really liked it when I played it, and then I just stopped playing it. I think it was, like people were just walking around like assholes, like playing it and getting in my way, right. And I was just like, fuck this game, and fuck these people, and like fuck.
I mean, I can definitely tell. I can definitely tell that it's died down a little in popularity.
Oh my god, a little, dude. Like I used to be able to see it everywhere. I went and actually had pizza last week, and on the window they had like a play Pokemon here. Show you're playing Pokemon, get 10% off. And I was like, oh, I should bring up my Pokemon. And then I was like, meh, I'll eat that 10%.
Yeah, popularity has definitely gone down on it. I understand some people's frustrations, like, oh, all I ever catch, I think it was Chad's frustrations,
Chad, like when they
of how
find anything.
They only catch Pidgeys and Patatas and Caterpies. But I wouldn't discourage anyone to stop playing just because they're catching those guys, because those Pokemon are very important for gathering those and then evolving those guys and getting more and more XP and leveling up your character. That's because those guys only require 12 candies to evolve, and then if you have a lucky egg, you get double XP. So at one point, if you have enough lined up, you can get 60,000 XP. Whoa. If you have a lucky egg, and then because each evolution is 500 XP, and then if you double it, it's 1,000. And if you evolve 60 Pokemon, which they say you can do in the half hour that they give you, then you can do it. Interesting enough, the developer recently said they're going to cut down on how long it takes. You've evolved something already, right?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, well, if you evolve something, it takes like a process. Like you see your Pokemon jump up and there's like lights on it and everything, and then eventually it just like transforms into its its evolution. But they're cutting down the time because it kind of takes some time for that to happen, and people probably are really annoyed by it.
Skip that with a tap, man.
Right. So they're going to add that as an upgrade soon. I don't think they made that upgrade yet, but it's possible because I haven't evolved anything until I'm at my right point and I have all the guys lined up and I'll get a lot of XP. So yeah, it's been fun. Eventually I'm just going to stop playing.
I'm going to fire it up when I'm back in New York City because I feel like there's a good opportunity to find some good shit.
Oh yeah, go to Central. The guy that collected all of them for the very first guy, he was in New York and he was in Central Park and he just would walk around Central Park for, I think after like a week or two, he caught all of them that he could.
Oh, I'm there for a week.
Parks are a good spot to catch them.
Oh, maybe I'll make you jealous of my Pokemon skills when I come back. So, all right, it's good to see that the game still holding your interest, at least. That's something.
Yeah, it's got my interest.
So that's pretty much it. That's what you're playing, Overwatch and Pokemon these days.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so many games I want to play, but I haven't, so...
Keep jumping into Hitman when it comes out, and the final piece of DLC is going to be released...
You still enjoying that?
On October 31st. Yeah, I still like Hitman. I don't know why. This is probably the best Hitman game they've released in a long time. If you like Hitman, I don't know if you like Hitman.
Not a big Hitman guy. No.
Yeah, no, if you like Hitman, you should totally check this game out, and on October 31st, there's going to be the final... DLC pack that's going to take you to Japan, and the stage looks pretty cool from what I've seen so far.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. What else do we got? PSVR is dropping this week. I think it drops tonight, actually.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. I decided not to go forward with my PSVR. I just didn't feel.
I really didn't think you'd bail on it, but yeah.
You know what? I just didn't feel like there was enough there.
I think you have to wait a little bit. I think me and Amy had this conversation where we were both just going to wait and see what happens. If it takes off, then we'll get into it later. But let's get a good catalog of games, get good VR games out there. Something worth investing money in this instead of like an hour-long Batman game.
There just wasn't that one.
It.
Yeah, like that. If that Batman game was like a good 14-hour real Batman game, that would be like a killer app to me. But there is no killer app, and the one game I really want to play in VR is Resident Evil 7, and that doesn't come out till next year. So when that comes out, I'll probably jump on board. But I said it last week. I'm probably gonna pick one up. So for Game of the Year, we can all just sit around and fuck around with it, and make stupid videos. But we'll see. So if you guys are picking it up, you should let us know what you think about it. See if we're being idiots for not getting it.
Very curious about it, but yeah, I think I'll definitely wait.
I keep hearing that people playing Drive Club in VR, a lot of the reviews and things coming up, people are getting nauseous and sick from playing that game, and I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's like it's a racing game and it's the way it moves and it's just not real. That's my big.
I remember hearing things about that at E3 that I know you didn't get sick at all, but I heard some reports that people were getting sick playing some of these games. But
yeah, the Resident Evil 7 demo was actually making people nauseous, and they had to stop it for a while, and the game was broken. But yeah, people were gonna fucking die at E3, so they kind of slowed it down. But yeah. What else, dude? Oh, you know what else I wanted to talk about from Comic-Con was the war for Planet of the Apes. They kind of did a little teaser. We didn't touch that on Adapted. It wasn't much of a teaser. It was more like a digital poster, but it was fucking neat. And I guess there's a game coming soon, and it's more of a companion piece than a game, I guess, according to our news story, which is always terrifying to me.
So Andy Serkis is still involved with all this? I thought he wasn't going to be in the next Planet of the Apes game or movie.
Yeah, I think he's coming back. Andy Serkis is like part of everything Planet of the Apes / anytime you need a guy for mocap, Andy Serkis is your guy. That's what I've learned. So if you're into it, then there's going to be that coming out, I guess. What other news do we have here, Chad? Bethesda announced that 4K and mod support are coming for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. That's pretty exciting for people. I mean, the Xbox people still not getting any of that stuff. Did you play through Skyrim or Fallout?
No,
you played Fallout 4 though, right?
I played Fallout 4. I didn't play through it, but I played Fallout 4. Yeah.
What do you think about Skyrim? Are you gonna jump on this Skyrim HD if you've never played it? You like wizards and dungeons and shit like that?
I do like that stuff, but I feel like that's a pretty deep game, right? Like,
oh my god,
a good amount of hours, right?
Like, you can lose like 150 hours of your life.
Yeah, I can't invest in that right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe if the free time opens up, but yeah, I mean, I've got a plethora of games I haven't played yet, so.
Yeah, the remaster looks cool, but I mean, if you played that game before, just give us a new Skyrim already or a new Fallout, like a new Fallout.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same old story where like, oh, everything's released in the new format that it previously wasn't available in. 4K is the next thing, so yeah, release in 4K, and I guess that's the right thing to do. Some people will buy it.
Yeah,
they do everything else.
Some people will buy it. Yeah, that is a fact. And I don't know what other stories Chad hears here. We got Chad did all.
Yeah,
Chad did all
really building up.
Good. Yeah, we had the UFC 2 coming to EA Access. Do you still have EA Access?
I actually did not renew it. My 2
years.
years.
You bought like 2 years worth.
Yeah, I got 2 years of it, and I didn't play a ton. I didn't really use it that often, which is why I didn't renew it. But yeah, they have a decent library.
Yeah, and now you get UFC 2 and Mirror's Edge. Those are two newer games. Like they came out in the last year.
And Battlefronts, I guess.
Oh yeah, Battlefronts. I mean,
we all have it, but
of course they're gonna put Battlefront in there. The season pass is still $40, dude. I want to play that DLC, but I'm not doing it. I'm not giving into that. I mean, that's just criminal.
So they don't give you the DLC with the EA Access?
Oh no, man! You get the regular game, dude.
Lame.
Yeah, no, totally. That's the whole reason they put these on here, so you can just nickel and dime you down the thing. And they put Mirror's Edge on here because no one played that game. Because I played that game and it was kind of terrible, and the sales were probably awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't that game come out recently?
Yeah, that game was. I was surprised to actually see it on here because it didn't come out that long ago, probably a few months ago. But it just disappeared so quickly, and I think they're just trying to drum up some like interest in it or something. I
mean, EA Access is a good product. You can play games early. If you're a sports fan, EA has most of the licenses, so you can play whatever sports game you're into,
I
whether it's
love it for
FIFA,
FIFA and Madden.
NHL, or Madden. No baseball, but they have almost everything. Just has available.
Yeah, like I'm excited to play like a little Battlefield 1 before it comes out, like on the EA Access. I'm sure I'll get a little tease of that, which is nice. So,
If I remember correctly, Titanfall 2 wasn't going to be available early access.
that might be true. That would be weird if it's not, but I don't know. We should probably look into that.
I thought I remember seeing that.
Chad, do you have anything to say about that? Chad? No? So we'll have to wait till next week, I guess. Those are all the stories I feel like I want to cover on this show. You got anything you think we missed?
No, I think that kind of covers it all. It was a fun week with that Overwatch one. I didn't expect to even play this week, and we got a good night of it in, and it was fun.
Yeah, I was psyched that you got to play with us, and we got to stream some of that stuff because we didn't think it was going to be able to hit. Hopefully you pick up gears. You plan on picking anything up this week or playing anything besides Pokemon and Overwatch?
To be determined. Yeah, I've got a lot of games to try out, so who knows what might pop in my consoles.
You grab Rise of the Tomb Raider, 20-year
edition? Did not. No.
Yeah.
That's just a money grab.
It's just it's just coming to PS4.
It's somewhere.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep playing WWE. I'm gonna keep playing FIFA. I played a little bit of that. Keep playing Gears because I got to do this review. I started to play Paper Mario Color Splash because I felt like I had to play that for Game of the Year, and that is a cool looking game. It looks.
Is it a true contender?
It's for best visual style, best graphics, because I'm a sucker for anything that looks like a cartoon.
Right.
It's a cool art style. I've only played like an hour. I just got through, or half hour. I just got through the first battle, but it's pretty cool looking. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it. We'll see. It has the battle mechanic I don't really love with these cards. You have to slide off the Wii unit, and it just seems cumbersome. Maybe there's a way to make it easier. They're just forcing it. It just feels forced at that point.
It's definitely forced.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's it. I think we did the show. Chad really should have recorded an outro, but he didn't. So
no outro. Come on, Chad.
Yeah, half-assing it.
He's got to throw his hands.
Yeah. Do karate chops. Say Bodacious J one more time and call it a day. That's it. That's our show for the week. If you guys are catching us on Twitch, you should subscribe right now so that you never miss us. Come to allertonav.com, watch this video, everything, anytime. Go to youtube.com/allertonav live and subscribe there. That way you don't miss the block party, you don't miss any of our streams, you don't miss Adapted, which just recorded before this and records every Wednesday around 7 o'clock. This week we talked about The Flash, Gotham, and Supergirl. And next week we're reviewing the final 6 episodes of Luke Cage, as well as 19 other shows that you guys will probably fall in love with like we did. And that's our show this week. I'm Jason. That's Tristan. Thanks for joining us. Come back next week at 8 o'clock. We'll do this again. And Chad will be the host. He'll be live. He won't be on this weird pre-made video thing that we forced you to watch. Sorry, everybody.
See ya.